market beef side.
The conclusion of.
Yeah, the heifer and steer show. I don't know. I mean, the cattle show. This would be the market beef side, and this is kind of like we talked with the swine the other day with the barrow and the steer, and how each animal has been castrated, and this is a year span life for each animal. This is actually a project. The produce market beef is actually a project of specifically your own cattle herd.
The Exhibitor Contest started in 2007. 4-H and FFA members can earn college scholarships by participating in the Premier Livestock Exhibitor Contest. The purpose of the contest is to allow sophomore, junior, and senior 4-H FFA members to demonstrate what they have learned about their beef, swine, sheep, and meat goat projects. On Monday, they completed an exam, participated in a skill-a-thon, and were interviewed by a panel of judges. During the fair, they are also scored on the ribbons they receive and their showmanship ability. The top 3 in each division will receive a college scholarship. We would like to thank CBI Bank and Trust of Muscatine for sponsoring this contest this year. Can we get a round of applause?
So in the ring right now, we have a single entry of Kiera McKendrick.
But that's significantly less important than the one and only Ashley Wiebe has just stepped in front of
Ashley Wiebe's here.
The broadcast. I think I scare her every time I do that.
You do.
See that look on her face?
You do. The look on her face, it's like, what do I got to do?
She's afraid we're going to make her talk.
Yep, that's what it is. But she could do it, though.
Oh, she does. She does a tremendous job.
Yes.
And for those that don't know, Ashley Wiebe is the I don't even know how to
We're good. We're good.
Yeah, we're just talking about you. No big deal.
Yeah, no big deal.
Don't sweat it.
It's, it's typical. Well, we're trying. Yeah. Oh, yeah. There's some good ones out there.
You can actually see Ashley's head right over the rear end of the cattle on
she waved.
Screen there.
She's famous. Everybody knows Ash.
There she goes. She's one of the FFA.
Love her. Absolutely love her.
Yeah,
I mean,
she's great.
That cattle barn would have half the amount of calves in it if it wasn't for her. I mean, she gets those FFA.
In twice as tight.
I mean, oh yeah. I mean, if it
Young
wasn't
lady
for
brings
her,
us an awesome way to start
I'll let him talk.
Produce from their own farm market steer show here. He's a big-legged, extended steer who comes with more than enough muscle at this stage of the game. Does he need some time to develop? Yes, but I think the young lady's done an awesome job with him, and as long as he keeps the feed, he's going to be a nice project down the road for her. Go ahead and give her a big round of applause.
Kiera, the single entry here in the first class of produce market beef. So that'll bring in, we'll have our second class now of produce market beef with entries from Jessica Mock, independent member. Oh, I forgot you could do that now.
Now coming into the ring, we have Jessica Ma, an independent member, and Easton Beatty of Goshen Gladiators.
Easton Beatty of the Goshen Gladiators. That's my old 4-H group, the Goshen Gladiators. And this is steers weighing 1240 to 1285. Getting pretty close to ideal market weight here. You don't want to get too much bigger than 1200 because then you get a little fatty, on your production side.
So talk to me about this independent thing, Toby. What's that all about?
Independent is, so if you don't fit maybe in like the Muscatine FFA or the West Liberty FFA or one of the 4-H groups, Wilton FFA is highly represented here. Then you can actually have your own independent type.
Is it kind of like a location thing?
Right. It's a location thing more than anything. So that's something that is new, relatively new. I know it was not. You fit in a 4-H group or an FFA group when I was involved in it, but now they're pretty strict about where this line is this 4-H group, this line is this or FFA. If you're FFA, it's all school related, obviously, but like for the 4-H groups, if you don't fit a certain line in a certain area, then the way they are now, that you're out. You don't have a chance. So you get to be an independent, and because you still want to have a project, but you don't necessarily want to be in the FFA side of it, like for the Muscatine for FFA or the Wilton FFA or the West Liberty FFA. You just want to have a project. Right. You don't want to necessarily be in the FFA so you can do that. Now, state fair level wise, no, you can't. You're in a group, so.
So can they not go to the state fair then?
They would have to enter in like the school district,
Gotcha.
if they wanted to. But she will not. She's not going to go to the state fair. Uh-oh. And this produce thing's kind of neat too, because it's something that is actually from your own place. I mean, and it's out of a,
as opposed to
buying one, having to buy one somewhere.
then if you buy one, isn't it yours?
It's still yours, but you actually bought it, from somebody. You didn't raise it from, as a calf. You bought it from somebody else, which is
so. Say you were buying one. At what age do you buy it?
Varies a little bit, but
like I guess I always assumed you would buy it when it was like really young, so where you are raising it.
Right. When you get your animals, like let's say the steer side, or the heifer side, it doesn't matter, I guess. Ideally, you want to try to buy them when they're about 400 pounds, 500, 600, somewhere in there. 4 to 600, 700 pounds.
So a little less than halfway.
Halfway, yep, just about halfway. And
so how
that
old
way
are they
you
then?
kind of, because they change so much, you kind of know what you got when you go out, and because it's. But if you were to buy it when it was younger, you ain't gonna know 100% what you're gonna have.
Got it. It's the randomish.
Right.
Okay.
So, because they change so much.
So would it be safe then to say that this is kind of like the best one that's going to come out of like what I would call like their breeding stock, functionally? Like, so this is really like showing how good their herd
Program is. Yep.
Like, overall. Okay.
Yep.
Got it.
Okay. Bucket calf.
As we get out here into the second
let him
class
talk.
of the produce from the farm, I find there to be the most quality in the young lady's Hereford steer. I think he's the bigger, extended steer who's better in terms of the way he pushes at the ground in his feet and legs. He's smoother in terms of his finish and the muscle that he comes with. Is he the biggest? Is he the stoutest in terms of the muscle that he's fed out the backside of his shoulder? No. But I think he's the most complete steer and the best place to start in this initial class. But that's nothing to take away from the young man, because he is the EST in terms of muscle and shape. It's just, for me, I think he's pushing the limit in terms of his condition. He gets rounder. Young man's doing an awesome job hanging in there. He's done a great job holding on to him, and that's more than I could have probably done at his age, so I absolutely commend him. Go ahead and give him a big round of applause.
So he threw out 3 letters there that I didn't recognize. Was it E, F, T, E? It was a great example of a E, T something.
E.T.
Or E.
I guess I didn't get it.
Oh, okay.
I didn't hear it. So
It was right as he started. He said something to the effect of like, it was a really good. I don't know. Guess I'm not going to learn anything on that one.
Sorry, folks. I didn't get it. I didn't hear what he said. So I don't want to misquote. I mean.
See, that's what we get around here. He wasn't paying attention. kind of.
It's all good. That'll bring us to our third class of produce market beef with entries from Kinsley Paul. We know them, don't we? And Kalen Paul with a 1505 and a 1535. Wow, that's big. Those are big steers.
Now entering the ring from our last class of produce market beef from the family-owned herd is Kinsley Paul of Muscatine FFA and Kalen Paul of Muscatine FFA.
And that dude looks like he's about to take out our camera. He's eyeing it. So Toby, talk to me about controlling these things, because I mean, so watching these young kids control an animal that weighs
1,500 pounds.
I was gonna say, a solid 5, 6, 7, 8 times their weight.
Yep.
How do you? Is it literally just like? What's the magic behind it? Because, like, to me, it doesn't seem like just like holding. Like, I understand holding on to something's head is gonna help you control it, but like, it seems like the cattle could break away whenever they really wanted to.
Right, they could. And here's the thing. Like I said, you get these animals when they're 700, 600 pounds, and you you constantly working with them, constantly breaking them, constantly breaking them to lead. I say by breaking, I mean there's old school ways of doing it, and there's you can hook them to a donkey. And the donkey, when the donkey wants to go somewhere, he's going to go. And he doesn't matter if he's getting outweighed or not. He's going to go. And that's one way of breaking them. Another way we used to is it's going to sound kind of cruel, but what we used to do was me and my sister would sit on the back of a hay rack, tie each calf to the back of the hay rack, and just slowly pull them around. So they knew, like, if you're pulling on that halter, that means you need to go. It's just like training a dog,
right.
or whatever, And
I have a feeling it's actually not much like training a dog.
But you know what I mean.
Our dog weighs 11 pounds maybe, and he's not trained. He's a little
and that's part of it too. Is a lot of these animals have generation after generation after generation have been bred to be more show type versus the feedlot type animal, and so it's in their natural instincts, for a lack of a better word, to trust humans,
right?
And once you get to where they know you're not going to hurt them, and scratching their belly like that feels good to them. It's a spot they can't get to.
Right.
I mean, it's like a dog. If you scratch its belly, it kicks its legs sometimes, and it's the same type of thing where it feels good to them, so they know you're not, and
in a pick your poison kind of pair of steers that I think both represent good feed and good quality livestock. I think it's the brown tinge calf who's just fed in more true shape out the backside of his shoulder. He's harder in terms of his finish. When he handles, he reads square and bigger out the backside of his hip, and he has more shape into his lower stifle. Is he maybe just quite as elegant about his front end? But I wouldn't consider neither of these to be just quite show steer appearing steers. These are feedlot cattle who are good in terms of muscle and shape that these young ladies have done an awesome job with. The brown tinge calf wins. I just think that he needs The black calf needs to come with just a shot more shape out the backside of his shoulder, maybe just more expressive into his lower leg and stifle. Go ahead and give him a big round of applause.
Nice work there by the Paul family to bring in 2 produce market beef. Now he will be selecting his champion produce market beef with a banner donated by McConaughey Farms and Ron and Jody McConaughey. Cash prize of $50 donated by Lehman Show Cattle. That's not me. That's my cousin Joe.
So I want to see, and I feel like I can do this because it's Sam's family, and like obviously I know them. So if I say something that sounds bad, I know I'm not going to get taken out behind the barn and whacked.
Yep.
So I want to see if I can kind of follow through with everything you told me and put that all together to understand this. See if this makes sense. So I heard him say these were more like feed cattle, and so not show, right? Being the other option. So if these are what I would assume are like probably on the more docile and more show-friendly feed side, in this class,
Right.
would it be safe to say then that Sam, as the farm owner,
Right.
is in that case more towards the feed than the show side?
Yes, definitely.
So then that also kind of shows you what I'm going to say what sort of farmer they are, or
Right.
ranch, or whatever you want to call it.
Yep.
Because if this were like a true show situation, those would never be the cows somebody would bring
No.
into that.
And that's nothing to take away.
No, that's what I
Right.
mean. It's just, and that's me trying to like
Interpret a little bit.
interpret and pull it all together in
Right.
my head, right? Like,
Right.
because do show animals become food at some point?
Yes.
Yes. But obviously that's not their primary.
Right, exactly.
And so I'm going to assume they cost more, and they, all those sorts of things.
Right.
And I would assume you do more with them
Right.
throughout the process, right?
Correct.
So
I mean, some of them are put in air conditioners all summer long, so
ooh,
yeah.
that'd be cool.
Yeah. I mean, it's a and that's partially why you see the number problem that we have is in order to be in that top end, top type animal that that wins shows and stuff like that, you got to dump a lot of money into it. And a lot of, it's like, okay, let's kind of put it in. Does Bailey do any sports?
I don't
think she
I
does
don't think
she?
so. Maybe volleyball.
So this is kind of like her
Oh
sport.
yeah. Oh, it definitely is.
I mean, this is her sport.
Like if she, and again, like it's not like they all hang out all the time together, but like I'm
Right. And that's what I'm trying to express is this is their sport. This is their livelihood, and it's like I say with that air conditioner thing. I mean, it's a wave, I mean, back when I was doing it was ice baths and rinsing, 5 or 6 times a day, and trying to grow hair. And now, I mean, I would have killed to have air conditioners back when I was doing it, but
okay. No, wait. Run that. Oh.
Yeah.
Wait. Okay.
Here in the champion drive for the farm,
because
from
with
the
hair,
farm produce
I'll let him.
section. I think there's one steer out here that just combines everything in terms of his look and being the most complete and balanced while feeding in more than enough shape in terms of his rib cage and the shape that he comes out of the backside of his shoulder into a big square hip. The Hereford steer's going to win. And then after that, I think there's a couple things a guy could do, but I think the brown tinge steer needs to be reserved. He's probably the heaviest muscled steer out here. And terms of the shape he's got at the top side of his skeleton while still reading with more than enough into his lower quarter. She'll be reserved. Give him a big round of applause.
I tell you what, this barn.
Well, it looks like the horns are angled down a little more than usual, which gives you, here's the one thing I know. I know audio.
Yep.
And I know if you got a microphone in front of a speaker, you're going to
It's
get
not good.
that.
It's not good. Yeah, and it's the building too.
Congratulations to your champion
it's
produce
one of the
market beef, Jessica
nicer
Ma.
buildings that
Banner
you're going to run
donated by
into
McConaughey Farms,
on a
bronze
county
Jody
fair level.
McConaughey, and a $50
But
cash
it's
prize
just-
donated by Lehman Show
It's
Cattle.
just the building. I mean,
Your reserve goes to Kaylin Paul.
it is
Muscatine
what it
FFA.
is there. So,
Let's give these exhibitors a round of applause.
but I mean, like,
Well, and just looking at the horns up there,
yeah,
if those were angled up maybe even 10
Our
degrees.
next division coming
That
in
would
the
help.
ring is the finished
he
bucket
wouldn't have
calf.
caught that.
We have Sayla Finley of Sweetland 4-H and Sage Collier of Sweetland 4-H.
So congratulations to Jessica Mock for your champion produce market beef, and Kaylin's the younger one, right, Paul?
Yes.
Yes, and Kaylin was your reserve.
Hey. there's
So a
Sage
lot of-
Collier.
So we have finished. What we have now is a finished bucket calf, and these are projects that as a bucket calf, for those that don't know, is basically a calf that's being raised without a mom, and you have to use, what they call colostrum milk and feed it up, and the problems that you have with finished bucket calves, it's not a problem, I shouldn't say, but they don't get the natural nutrients from the mother's milk that the regular calves do. So you're going to have a tendency of smaller frames.
We want to take a moment to say thank you to our 4-H and FFA exhibitors. Your hard work throughout the year truly shines. We're proud of all you've accomplished, and a big thank you to our volunteers, fair board members, club leaders, FFA advisors, parents, and others who have supported these youth through every step of the way. And finally, thank you to the many generous supporters who've provided trophies, awards, and helped make this fair possible. We couldn't do it without any of you. Thank you, and can we get a round of applause?
So, interesting.
The one thing that's nice about a bucket calf, though, is you've had this. You're basically its mother or father. You know what I mean? I mean, you've been around this calf since it was, 100 pounds.
Yeah.
So, and then this is the finished project. So, I mean, you have. It's something that these kids, and what I like about it is maybe it's kids that don't necessarily have the background,
Right.
And they get involved, and it's a great way to get
Now in this case, for these two, that is not the case.
right,
This is a Collier and Finley showdown.
right.
Interesting thing here, so they're two older brothers who have played basketball with Wyatt.
Mm-hmm.
Kanan doesn't anymore, but Dayton, Collier, and so we see these girls fairly often, and both families, I would say, are not new to this,
Right.
by any stretch of the imagination.
Right.
So,
And kind of going back to I'm going to bounce back to the air condition thing, and some people might ask, well, why in God's green earth are you putting steers and heifers in an air conditioner?
oh yeah, I was going to see if let me see if I get this.
Okay.
Let me see if I.
All
get
right,
this.
see if you can get this.
So you'd also tossed out there the ice water whatever, right? I'm gonna go out on a limb and guess for show animals, the hair is a rateable quality,
Right.
and so then obviously if you make them chili,
Right.
they're more likely to grow hair,
Right.
just like us.
And
Most
with
of us.
hair,
some of us just do it anyway.
with hair, you can kind of hide some imperfections in your animal that you might have.
Oh, so you
Awesome
cheat.
set of
Yeah,
finished
kind
bucket
of.
calves
But it's
out
not
here that
really
the two young
cheating.
ladies
It's still
bring
the
us.
animal.
It's the steer
But-
calf that I opt to land on. I think he's the heavier muscled option who's bigger and stouter
Which
in
one's the
terms
steer
of his
calf?
feature at the ground. And with that, he comes wider and square in terms of his loin. and the way he's fed back into his hip and the shape that he runs down to his lower stifle. And with that, he's a longer, more extended calf who I think's better built in terms of the way he gets out and goes. That's nothing to take away from the young lady in second. Her heifer's probably the more ready market animal today in terms of his finish and fat that he's got deposited over, that she's got deposited over her body. It's just, for me, I think it comes in a shorter bodied stature that gets just a shot plain in terms of her neck and just doesn't have the long length and extension as the one that wins. Give them a big round of applause.
Okay, so which one won?
Nice class of finished bucket calves. You know,
Which one won?
uh,
Because I didn't understand a word he said.
well, I didn't get much out of it either, but to be honest with you, but it's just one's a little bit.
Now entering the ring,
Oh.
our second class of finished bucket calves. We have Kaylin Paul of Muscatine FFA and Kara Paul of Sweetland 4-H.
So here we got Paul family again.
Oh, yeah, so Kara's the youngest. So there's 3.
Right.
That's why I was confused.
Yeah,
So,
I should have said the ones that were in the ring.
Yeah.
Yeah, I knew there was 3, but
Right.
who won that?
Sometimes it feels like there's 500 of them.
So
'Cause they're
Salem,
everywhere.
right? Yeah,
And-
they're
I mean,
everywhere.
And that's a huge compliment.
Well, you
That's
got to
like,
right.
I mean,
and-
they're at sporting events all over the place. They're
Right.
at this. They're at, like, they are.
Are they in band too?
I would have no idea.
Yeah, I don't know if they're in band or not.
I don't know how they possibly could.
I don't know how they could be, but right, 100% right. But congratulations to Selah Finley for first place in the first finished bucket calf class, and
Sage Collier.
right? Sage
Yep.
Collier. That's weird. How is it Finley or is it?
Yeah, they flipped the names. Yeah, I'm not exactly sure. Yes. So
'Cause-
folks on the roster, it's got Finley Selah and Sage Collier. So
yeah, so it's just how it's sometimes they got last name first, sometimes they got first names last, and
So
yeah.
we're gonna have to check with Krista and see if she didn't fill it out right, or see if Sarah didn't fill it out right. Because one of them goofed it up.
yeah, one of them was wrong.
Oh,
It's not the end of the world. We're going
I
still.
am so gonna get my butt kicked.
So now entering the ring is in the ring now is the second class of finished bucket calves. Kaylin Paul with a finished bucket calf of 1,330 pounds, and Kara Paul with a finished bucket calf of 1,490. That's very unusual to see out of a bucket calf to be that big.
So
Which is a good thing.
when you say finished, I mean obviously I'm gonna put 2 and 2 together. They're pretty much done growing.
Yep.
And does that mean they're ready to?
Ready to go. Turn into hamburger and steaks.
So when we say ready to go, is that like tomorrow?
They could, but
I
I'm
mean-
sure they'll.
I mean, obviously tomorrow's Saturday, and there's a
Right,
bunch of other
yeah,
stuff.
but
I mean,
like,
is it like once they get home, off they go?
I would say once they get home, you'll probably give them a week, and then they could go. But it depends on each individual.
Right. But
It
I mean,
obviously-
it's not like another month per se.
Right. It
Probably
shouldn't.
not.
I mean, it shouldn't be.
Obviously, there's
You don't want them to
schedules and all
get
that
too
stuff.
big. Yeah.
Right.
And they're all steers.
Here
I
in the
think.
second class
So
of
you're
the
obviously not
finished
gonna bring 'em
bucket
back.
calf division, I think it's the young lady's heavier weight steer that needs to win. He's just entirely more massive in terms of the muscle and shape at the top side of his skeleton, reading through the center portion of his body. He's denser, he's rounder in terms of his rib cage, and then with that, he still comes stouter out of the back side of his hip. But I'll actually give the nod to the girl in second because her steer comes probably more ideal in terms of the set to her hind leg and the way she gets out and goes. It's just compared to the one that wins. She's just a little behind in terms of her finish. Reads a little drier right there out the back side of her shoulder. But with a little more feed, the young lady steer's surely going to come on. Give them a big round of applause.
So you have to wonder, does the winning Paul girl get extra dessert?
Probably.
I feel like I want to ask Sam that.
Yeah, that's something you
Actually,
can
I'll
talk to
ask
Sam
Lisa.
about.
Sam, I don't think Sam would find that fun.
He wouldn't mind at all. So now are we doing a champion? Yeah, this will be champion finished bucket calf and reserve champion finished bucket calf. Banner donated by Linda Pearson, and a $50 cash prize donated by Linda Pearson as well. This is something. I mean, Haley, probably my daughter. Probably if we didn't spend so much time and money and energy in softball, this is something she would have wanted to have done.
Which,
And-
speaking of which, folks, just in case you haven't picked it up yet, Toby's daughter is one of the ring announcers here. You see her popping in on the red shirt, just so you kind of know.
And she definitely would have done this. We did 1 year where we did do Morris and the Meyer family were phenomenal to us, and by Morris is our West Liberty FFA director.
At first, I thought you were going to Morris the cow that you guys had.
No. And we had 5 girls that had bucket calves that he got involved, and we showed them as bucket calves the first year, and second year, we brought them back as a finished product. And this is something Haley did to kind of, so she was involved because she really enjoys being around the steers and the heifers and of course, with me growing up doing it, it was like, it's like Joe Lehman, my cousin, his daughter Addison, and son Perry are highly involved in it.
I was gonna say, didn't they like sweep a whole bunch last year?
Yeah, and in years past, it's just something that it's what they do, and Joe does a really good job being involved still. That Addison's done. He does a lot of work with a lot of people, and kind of keeps the interest going in the 4-H heifer and steer show. But anyway, we did the bucket calf thing with Haley for 1 year, and she really enjoyed it. And it's something that's good for, like I said earlier, maybe the ones that don't necessarily have the background of generations on top of generations of doing it. You know what I mean? But because I do have a picture back home of my grandpa, my dad, and myself as a third generation that have exhibited at the fair, with cattle. And they did a whole article in the local paper here in the Muscatine Index.
Here in the finished bucket calf drive, I think there's 2 different kinds of steers who lie on opposite sides of where they're at in terms of finish and where they're going to be and when they'll be slaughtered and their end points. The steer out of the first class, he's probably honestly the stouter, bigger legged option out of anything, which kind of fits a show steer mold. And his look up front, does he just, for me today, does he just have enough mass? Is he there in terms of his pounds? I don't know. Compared to the one that wins the second class, that's the meat and potatoes kind of steer. He's giant out of the backside of his shoulder, big hipped, comes with more than enough of the right kind of degree of finish into his lower quarter and stifle. It's just, I think he's on the edge in terms of his hind leg. But with that being said, and the market being where it's at, pounds pay, she'll be your champion. Young lady will be your reserve.
So that's the youngest Paul girl. So that's Kara, right?
Yes.
Kara Paul is your champion bucket calf. And reserve champion bucket half went to Sela Finley. Selah. Okay, I got it. Selah. It's Selah.
I'm gonna get him to say it right yet. I
bucket
swear.
Calf, Kara Paul. Banner donated by Linda Pearson. $50 cash prize also donated by Linda Pearson. And your reserve finished bucket calf went to Selah Finley.
And that's another
now
one of those
entering the ring with a market heifer
first name,
is
last names
Dalton
that
Rock
could be a
with
first
Wilden
name
FFA.
Yeah.
or a last name. I do know a Finley personally. That's a Finley Hall.
Well, and I don't know if you've made the connection. So, do you remember the softball coach?
Denny Sure, yes.
Okay.
Hall of Fame coach.
Notice he's sitting like right there.
Yep. I see Denny.
And Denny's daughter, Krista.
That's mother
Finley.
of.
She's now a Finley, Mary Clint Finley.
Right.
So there's your connection.
There's my connection.
So now you know Finley is in fact the last name.
Right, is in fact the last name. So otherwise it'd be Sure.
No.
Well, she's a
Finley. Yeah.
Yeah, if you could, he didn't have any boys. He just had girls, right?
Correct.
Yes. Yep.
He had some softball playing girls.
Yeah, yes he did. And he's a Hall of Fame coach, so now in the ring is registered, or no, this is the first class of market heifers with Dalton Rock. And his market heifer weighed in at 1175. And he is representing Wilton FFA and crossbred breed. And then we'll have Wyatt's girlfriend Bailey come
Great
up.
way to start
Not
off
even
the
close.
market heifer shot. Young man
Holy
brings
cow,
a
he
long and
just got an
extended,
absolute
neat-fronted kind of a
scout.
heifer
That
who's
was a
coming with
total-
more than enough muscle at the top side of her skeleton, and she's big and true about her hip when you get in
Oh, I
behind
had
her.
to tease him.
I guess if I were to nitpick her
wow,
a shot,
no.
I need her come, or maybe see her
no,
just
that
come a
wasn't-
shot bigger boned, a
He
little
was
more
making a
flex
joke
to
about
her
the fact that they've known
lower
each other a long
pastern
time, folks.
in her hock. But that's an awesome project for the young man. Give him a big round of applause.
So Dalton will get first in his class. And now we'll be bringing in Bailey Danner with her market heifer that weighed 1370.
Entering the ring, second class market heifer Bailey Danner with Sweetland 4-H.
This thing is a monster. Yeah, it's a monster. I mean, wow. I saw this market heifer the other day in the barn, and I was like, wow. That's all I could say was wow. When she walks in the ring, oh, man. Oh, living. I mean, it's going to be hard pressed to find something that's going to get in front of her today. And down the road at the state fair. Oh, boy. And they only did bring one this year, so kind of like Grings is bringing one pig. She's very, very pretty to look at, that kind of silvery gray. Just a pretty animal. And then she's just loaded with meat. I mean, just loaded.
So, if I remember right, Bailey showed an animal different color, if I remember correctly, but like as I look at like the hair and it looks like velvet.
Young lady
almost.
brings us one
Yeah.
high
Or
quality
something.
animal here in the second
and she
class
had one
of
that
the
was, like,
market
brown and
heifers.
white,
I mean,
like
this thing is
last year.
intriguing to
I
look
remember
at
that thing
from
just
every
looked
angle.
like
You catch her
a-
from the side, she's long and
I don't even
extended
know
about
what.
her front end, big and bold in
it's
terms of the way
so
she's
much-
fed out the backside
there's
of her
so
shoulder
many
into a
things
bold rib cage.
that
She's big and
go
thick
into it.
ended about
I mean,
her hip,
back when
and with that, her
when I
foot
did it,
shape and
we didn't
set
have
at the ground
the
is
conditioners
more
that they
than
have.
adequate
The
for a market female.
you
She's
know,
big-legged
and
and awesome looking. That's
the
a
stuff
nice
that
animal.
you
Give her
even
a
put
big
on
round of
because the
applause.
conditioner that you would use, and it helps their skin, and that's where you get some of the hair growth. And it's like anything else, if you're scratching it keeps them from scratching, and it's just so much gets put into these animals that are state fair, and that are at that top echelon of the state fair competitiveness, and and there's a lot of money that goes in it, and a lot of time and a lot of energy, and that hair doesn't get that way by just throwing it in a cooler. You know what I mean? I mean,
Right.
she's working with those calves every day in, day out, 2, 3, 4 times a day, and it's just what they do, and she does a very good job at it. She's getting better and better every year. Dad even said that, and he even said she's still got some stuff to learn, and I'm like, really? What does she have to learn still? And
Well, she's only 13.
yeah,
yet,
yeah,
So,
that's true.
well, plus or minus.
Yeah.
I don't know when her birthday is.
But just getting behind that market, I mean, if you just look at her, it just is wow. It just is pow. I mean, blah. Like I said, I saw her in the barn yesterday, and I was just in awe. And I'll be honest with you right now, from what I remember from last year, I would take her over the steer last year that won it from Danners. I really like this market heifer. Take nothing away from the steers that they brought last year, but
Okay.
I mean, wow.
So now, talk to me about the black one.
The black one, Dalton is, she's 1175 versus 1370. There's a, difference there, obviously, in weight.
That seems like a
That's a big thing.
pretty tremendous difference.
It
Here
is.
in the
And
market heifer drive, I think it fits together logically. I won't take a whole lot of time. I said it before. This gray calf's very good. Young lady will be your champion. Young man will be your reserve.
Bailey does get to be champion, and there's the black calf. There's nothing wrong with it. I mean, it's a good solid, good solid market heifer that I like. It's just got out horsed. By horsed, I mean just out muscled, out
Right.
massed, out, and that's take nothing away from the young man's heifer that was in market heifer that was in second, because she's very good in her own right. It's just she ran into a buzzsaw. I mean,
Congratulations to Bailey
So-
Banner for champion market heifer. Banner donated by Muscatine County Fair. Reserve champion market heifer went to Dalton Rock of Wilton FFA. Now entering the ring is our registered Angus steers. We have Gage Maurer of Wilton FFA and Sawyer Clausen, an independent member.
so this will be your registered Angus steers with entries from Gage Maurer from the Wilton FFA and Sawyer Clausen as an independent. And Clausen's, I was talking to them yesterday a little bit. They normally have goats and sheep and cattle, and they got normally a ton of stuff going on, but they just got back from Tulsa at the Angus National Show, and literally just got back this on Sunday. And so bringing that many animals that they normally bring to the fair just wasn't going to work, and I understand that. And I just wanted to give them a shout out because they do bring a lot of exhibits, and they're involved in everything, sheep, goats, cattle. They did used to do pigs, but they stopped doing that a couple years ago. And I just want to give a shout out to the family because they bring a lot to the county fair and participate very much in the county fair. So I just want to give a shout out to the Clausen family for that. I appreciate what they do. So I think they had 7 head of cattle here, 5 or 7, I can't remember. But they do a fabulous job with what they do, with what they bring to the fair every year. I think this is the only. Is this the only double? Nope. There's a couple more double entries here. Well, he's having a hard time here trying to decide which way he wants to go. So we do have a decision made. Clausen will get first, and Maurer will get second. Pretty good Angus steer.
Out here in your Angus steer show, I think both steers check the boxes in terms of what it takes to meet the standards of market fundamentals. They're both big-backed, square, thick-ended kind of a steers. It's just the extras of the young man steer for me. He's so extended about his front end, good-looking kind of a steer who's kept they've done an awesome job on keeping him soft-haired, and he's smooth. And with that, I think he's more secure and better built about his hind leg. Good calf to win. Steer that comes out in second, I actually probably prefer him in terms of the way he handles right out of the backside of his shoulder. He's more right in his degree of finish at this stage of the game. It's just study him in motion. He gets entirely too upright in his hawk. You need to see him more relaxed at the ground. Give them a big round of applause.
So your champion Angus steer will be Sawyer Clausen with a banner donated by Eastern Iowa Angus Auxiliary.
Congratulations to our champion Angus steer, Sawyer Clausen. Banner donated by Eastern Iowa Angus Auxiliary. $50 cash prize donated by Circle 6 Angus. And our reserve went to Gage Maurer. Now entering the ring is our registered Charolais steer. We have Hank Elam from Sweetland 4-H.
So now entering is Charolais with Hank Elam from Sweetland 4-H. Gage Maurer. And his Charolais steer weighed in at 1206. And the banner that he will receive is donated by Engineered Ag Tech and a $50 cash prize donated by Connor Trucking LLC. That will bring us into our registers Herefords after this class.
Young man brings us an awesome project, single entry here in the Charolais Steer Show. And he is a long and extended, big-legged kind of a calf who I can appreciate from that point. And he still comes with more than enough muscle at this stage of the game. I'd maybe like to see him just a shot further along at this point. But I'm sure the young man's going to keep feeding his calf, and he'll come along. Give him a big round of applause.
Congratulations to Hank Elam with his registered champion Charolais steer.
Now we're going to get into the registered Hereford steers with entries from Savannah Finley from the Sweetland 4-H. And with a Hereford heifer or Hereford steer that weighs 1275. Then we have Casey Reese. From
Good afternoon. My
Muscatine
name is Doug
FFA.
Cora. I'm with the Muscatine County 4-H Endowment
Hereford
Committee. Some of you heard me
weighing
speak already, so I'll try to keep it short.
1,365
the Endowment
pounds.
Committee raises
And then we have
funds for the
Jessica
4-H
Mock,
program.
independent,
We give $10 each
at
year for each member to help
$14.40.
reduce their membership fee. We have given to the dog show for their obstacle courses, to the horse show for their program. We given for volunteer recognition. And the last several years, we've given to the building of the event center. As we've done the last couple of years, we're going to have a state fair survival kit raffle. The raffle will be held during the ribbon auction on Saturday afternoon. You do not have to be present to win. One thing that's in there is a $100 gift card to Casey's for gas, 2 adult tickets to the Iowa State Fair, 2 kids tickets to Iowa State Fair. There's food vouchers, I know, to the cattlemen's and to the pork producers at the State Fair. And there's like other miscellaneous such as sunscreen and various things to help you survive spending a day at the Iowa State Fair. I'm going to go around and see if anybody would be interested in buying a ticket. They are $5 for 1 ticket or $20 for 5 tickets. We give you a little discount if you buy 5 tickets from us. Appreciate it. Thank you.
In the ring, we have our registered Hereford steers. We have Savannah Finley with Sweetland 4-H, Casey Reese with Muscatine FFA, and Jessica Ma with independent member.
Three pretty good Hereford steers out here right now. Kind of different varieties. Kind of curious to which way he's going to go here. We have a champion Hereford steer banner donated by Ron and Deb Streger.
Awesome class of Hereford
And
steers.
Corey and Dana Bates.
It's the young ladies fitted
With a
up calf that
$50
I think
prize.
needs to win. That's the heaviest muscled, boldest bodied steer who comes the heaviest in terms of his bone work and construction at the ground. With that, set him into motion. I think he's relatively good in terms of his movement and study him from the side. He still balances with a good kind of Hereford show steer look. That's nothing to take away from the 2 young ladies in second and third, because both of them I think are more than practical, kind of good feeding kind of steers. It's the young lady in second though that I just think's put on more an adequate amount of muscle and shape right out of the backside of his shoulder. Catch him from the three-quarter view. I think he's fuller and denser and rounder in his rib cage. It's just relative to the one that wins. He kind of runs out of just the extras in terms of hair, look, maybe wants to fall out of bed in terms of the set to his hind leg. But young lady coming out in third brings us another kind of practical, easy feeding calf who's soft-centered and probably comes with a shot more conditioned in terms of the one ahead of her. It's just, I think, study him from behind. She gets too flat out of her hip, just flattens a little bit in terms of her muscle. Giving him a big round of applause.
Congratulations to our champion Hereford steer, Jessica Ma. Banner donated by Ron and Deb Strager and Corey and Dina Bates. $50 cash prize donated by the same people. Our reserve champion Hereford steer went to Casey Reese. Now entering the ring is our registered Simmental steers. We have Easton Beatty with Goshen Gladiators.
So now entering the ring is Easton Beatty with a registered Simmental steer. This is what I used to show was Simmental steers a lot. Still my favorite breed, Simmental. I love Simmies.
Young man brings us an awesome kind of feeding calf here in the purebred Simmental, and he's done an awesome job in terms of feeding him because he charts so high in terms of his average daily gain, and it shows in person. This thing is chock full of muscle no matter where you study him, and with that, I think set him into motion. He comes with the right kind of joints and flexibility that suits that much mass well. Go ahead and give him a big round of applause.
Congratulations to Easton Beatty. Champion banner donated by Swing Shift Simmental.
Congratulations to Easton Beatty for our champion
And
Simmental
a
steer.
$50
Banner
cash
donated
prize.
by Swing Shift Simmental, and $50 cash prize also donated by Swing Shift Simmental.
And then there'll be a $50 cash prize
Entering the
donated
ring
by
is
Swing
our
Shift
registered shorthorn
Simmental.
steer, Jessica Ma, an independent member.
So now we have registered shorthorn steers with a single entry in Jessica Mock as an independent member. Her steer weighed 1,515 pounds. Wow, that's a big steer. She will be a member. Her steer weighed 1,515 pounds. Wow. She will be your champion registered shorthorn as well. And she will get a banner donated by Ag Tech and a $50 cash prize donated by Connor Trucking LLC.
single entry here in the Shorthorn Steer Show, but I would definitely think this thing could withstand some competition. Study him from the side. He's a big outline steer who's very long and extended, and it actually can be deceiving to be that long and extended. Step in behind him, and he still comes more shapely than I ever imagined. And study him at the ground. He's a big-legged kind of a steer who, when you set him into motion, motors and goes with a lot of comfortability. Give her a big round of applause.
So once again, Easton Beatty is your champion registered Simmental steer with a banner donated by Swing Shift Simmentals and a $50 cash prize donated by Swing Shift Simmental. And that will bring us to our registered Shorthorns that were just in the ring, and that would be champion Jessica Mock with a banner donated by Engineered Ag Tech and a $50 cash prize donated by Connor.
Congratulations to Jessica Ma, our champion Shorthorn steer. Banner donated by Engineered Ag Tech. $50 cash prize donated by Connor Trucking LLC. Now in the ring is our lightweight crossbred market steers. We have Kinsley Brown of Wilton Hustlers.
So entering the ring now is lightweight crossbred market steers with a single entry from Kinsley Brown from the Wilton Hustlers. Crossbred steer weighing 1,125 pounds. No heavyweight, so there's just 3 steers in the crossbred division. Kinsley Brown will be your champion lightweight.
Young lady brings us an awesome project here in the first lightweight crossbred class. He's an easy feeding kind of steer who comes with more than enough shape at the top side of his skeleton. Read him at the ground. I think he's good in terms of his feet and legs. Is he just a shot behind in terms of finish at this point? And for my liking, maybe. But I think that's a high-quality calf for the young lady who's going to have some success down the road. Give her a big round of applause.
Nice steer there for Kinsley Brown from the Wilton Hustlers is your champion lightweight crossbred steer. And that'll bring us up to the second class of crossbred steers, your middleweight crossbred steers, with entries from Kinsley Paul from the Muscatine FFA with her steer weighing at 13.15, and Gage Maurer with a crossbred market steer and Wilton FFA that weighs 13.80.
Now in the ring is our middleweight crossbred market steers. We have Kinsley Paul of Muscatine FFA and Gage Maurer of Wilton FFA.
So with entries from Kinsley Paul and Gage Maurer here in the middleweight division of the crossbred steers, champion. Then we'll have a champion crossbred market steer selected with a banner donated by Danner Cattle, Ben Danner, and a $50 cash prize donated by Danner Cattle, Ben Danner. Taking his time here, folks. Another beautiful day here at the fair. I mean, it's a little bit warmer than it was yesterday, but man, you can't ask for fair weather better than this. I mean, it's just amazing how fortunate these kids are that it's not 110 degrees out. So he has made his mind up.
Took me a second longer here on the middleweight steers, but I think well deserving because there's ultimately some big differences between the two of these calves. They're on opposite sides of the spectrum in terms of how they're constructed, how they're made, where they've put in deposited fat and finish. It's just, for me, I think the young lady's steer, in my mind, reads the most complete. He comes with the best set of running gear in terms of his feet and legs. He's smooth about his finish, but he's still wide and shapely up high and still reads long and extended about his skeleton. It's just the little things between the young man's who comes in second, I think, set him into motion. His hind legs just a shot too far over the edge in terms of being straight and upright. For me to want to call him functional, but he is the heavier muscled steer when you get your hands right on him. It just today, I think he needs to be reconstructed out of his rear skeleton. Give him a big round of applause.
So first place in the middleweight crossbred market steers goes to Kinsley Paul, and second of Muscatine FFA, and second goes to Gage
Congratulations to
Maurer
Kinsley Paul on your champion
Wilton.
crossbred market steer. Banner donated by Danner
FFA.
Cattle. $50 cash prize also donated by Danner Cattle, Ben Danner. Our reserve champion crossbred market steer was Gage Maurer.
So in the ring now, we're picking our champion crossbreds market steer. and he'll be having to decide between Kinsley Paul, who is your middleweight champion, and Hank Elam as that's your Angus steer. I'm sorry. And Kinsley Brown is your champion lightweight steer. You'll have to pick between the two for your champion crossbred market steer, with a banner donated by Danner Cattle Company. That would be Ben Danner, and a $50 cash prize donated by Danner Cattle, and that would also be from Ben Danner. So it appears he has made up his mind.
Good set of two steers that we got out here for the champion crossbred drive. I just think in my mind there's one steer that's entirely more ready today. The ladies' black and white steer will be your champion. Go ahead and bring in this reserve.
So your champion crossbred market steer is Kinsley Paul. Congratulations, Kinsley, from Muscatine FFA. And your reserve champion from that class, or your second place from that class, will come into contention for reserve.
As we get out here for reserve, I think there's just one steer who comes more functional and bigger and stouter in terms of his feet and legs. Young lady out of the first class will be reserve.
And the lightweight steer will be your reserve steer from Hank Elam. So we're bringing in now each individual breed champion for the final drive, and have your grand champion market beef award the Russ Brandon Memorial Traveling Trophy, banner donated by West Liberty State Bank. An award.
Congratulations to the champion crossbred market steer, Kinsley Paul, and the reserve champion crossbred market steer is Kinsley Brown. We will now start our market beef final drive.
And grand champion market beef, you also receive a banner donated by the West Liberty State Bank, award donated by the Muscatine County Cattlemen's Association, and a $75 cash prize donated by J&L Farms. Reserve grand champion market beef, banner donated by Farmers and Merchants Savings Bank, Lone Tree, and Nichols. Award donated
All
by.
reserves from each class, we would like that you would stay ringside as the champions are going in.
Award donated by Muscatine County Cattlemen's Association, and a $50 cash prize donated by Farmers and Merchants Savings Bank, Nichols, and Lone Tree. Third overall award donated by Nolman Ag and Cattle, with a $25 cash prize donated by Fred's Feed. Fourth overall donated by Danner Cattle Company, and a $25 cash prize donated by Fred's Feed and Supply. and 5th overall award donated by Danner Cattle, with a $25 prize donated by Monica Danner. This will bring in each individual steer now from each breed. Got to flip. I flipped too far, guys. Back to the registered heifers. So starting out with so we'll start out with Jessica Mock as your champion produce market beef, and your champion finished bucket calf, Kara Paul, will be in here as well as your champion market heifer, Bailey Danner. Then you'll have your champion Angus steer with Sawyer Clausen, registered Angus steer. And then your champion registered Charolais steer will be Hank Elam. That will bring us up to your champion Hereford steer, Jessica Mock. Your champion registered Simmental steer is Easton Beatty. Your champion Shorehorn steer is Jessica Mock. That brings us to your champion crossbred steer of Kinsley Paul for your overall grand champion market animal. And the prizes these kids get are pretty sweet. I mean, they got speakers, they got chairs, it's pretty cool stuff. I haven't seen an Angus steer out here. Oh, that's because Cox is in my way. And of course, after this, after they do pick the top 5 here, we will take a short break because they'll have to go and take pictures, and then we'll come back and we'll have the showmanships for junior and senior market beef showmanships. Senior division is grades 9 through 12, and the junior division would be 4th grade through 8th grade.
While the judge is making his decisions, we wanted to recognize Muscatine FFA advisor Sam Paul. It's his birthday today, so if you see him around, give him.
Did you hear that? Sam Paul's
Tell
birthday
him happy
today.
birthday.
Well, happy birthday, Sam Paul.
I want to give another shout out and a round of applause for our judge coming here to judge our cattle show today, Levi Meadows. Can we give him a round of applause?
He's got a pretty. I mean, I think I know where he's going to go for champion, but I'm trying to figure out where he's going to go after that. Yeah, we're about done. I mean, overall champion, to me, and it's a market beef show. So with the market heifer, that I personally myself would use as your champion market animal, um, she could win a lot of places. I mean, she's as stout and as powerful and gets out on the move. And it's like I said earlier, I would take that market heifer over the 2 steers that she brought last year. That's just my personal opinion, taking nothing away from the 2 steers that she brought last year. But I really like that market heifer. And there she's, like I said, she's separating herself. So I would assume that's where
Give
he's
these
gonna
exhibitors a big round of applause. I won't take much of your time. I just want to thank the fair board and everybody for having me here to judge. The cattle are getting hot. I'm sure the kids are tired. You guys were awesome to work with. Awesome set of cattle. Great set of kids. Give them a big one. Give them one more big round of applause, and I'll be out of your guys' hair.
Bailey Danner, your champion market beef.
Reserve market heifer coming in is Dalton Rock. Congratulations to Bailey Danner for the grand champion market beef.
That is a pretty cool cat. Wow. I just can't say I can't get over it. I mean, I think they're really going to be in the hunt come state fair time with that market heifer. I mean, she's special. Reserve overall went to your champion Angus steer, Sawyer Clausen.
Reserve coming into the ring is Gage Maurer.
Now it's kind of what I thought he would do, but I'm curious to where he's going to go now, because he's got about 4 options that he can choose from of very similar calves. Simmental as 3rd overall. Yeah, that was Beatty. Beatty, and then Mock at 4th. Yeah. Easton Beatty, isn't it? Yeah. And Mock had the short horn. Clausen. 5th was Jessica Mock.
Congratulations again to our grand champion, Bailey Danner with Market Beef. Our reserve grand champion, Market Beef, went to Sawyer Clausen. Our 3rd overall Market Beef went to Jessica Ma. Our 4th overall Market Beef went to Easton Beatty. And our 5th overall Market Beef went to Jessica Ma. Can we give another round of applause for these exhibitors? We're going to take a short break for exhibitors to take pictures, and then we will do a market showmanship.
Don't dare her. Like cattle do. Chris having a little bit of fun here with my kid. Like I said, we're going to take a quick break here. Let them do their picture thing and take pictures for county fair. Public, they'll put pictures in the papers and stuff like that. So, and it's a good for memorabilia type stuff for the kids. So, we're gonna step away for just a second, but we'll stay live and we'll be back in about 5 or 10 minutes.